Now to a much debated story in the KXAN newsroom that we've decided to air tonight.
Listen to this exchange with Tavo Hellmund, the promoter of Austin's proposed Formula One track. What you're about to see is the beginning of an interview yesterday as our cameras first began rolling.
Just for the record, go ahead and say your name.
Kunta Kinte. No.
Just for my check, hey?
Did you just say that?
No, he didn't.
Tavo Hellmund.
Yes, he did, Mr. PR man. We heard it.
All right, so what's this new track like? Can you explain to us the design?
The exchange you just saw occurred at the beginning of an interview held yesterday. You normally do not see the portion of the interview, but it is a common practice for journalists to confirm the name of interview subjects at the onset of the interview. Our internal debate began when our crew returned from the field. KXAN Austin News determined his comment was newsworthy because the F1 project is eligible for $25 million per year in taxpayer incentives. And as promoter, Hellman is responsible for how your tax dollars are being spent.
We'd like to introduce reporter Doug Shoup now, who spoke with state leaders involved in the F1 project, and a community bridge builder who helps put tonight's story into perspective.
Mr. Hellman has declined our request for an interview over the last day and a half, but 40 minutes ago he sent this emailed statement. While I was preparing for an interview yesterday, I said something I shouldn't have during a microphone check. Anyone who knows me knows this is not who I am. I'd like to extend a sincere apology to anyone who may have been offended. His remark has raised questions, but also created an opportunity for open dialogue and education.
Kunta Kinte is the name of the main character of the novel Roots, which was made into a popular TV miniseries in 1977.
The show revolves around an African named Kunta Kinte, who was captured and brought to the United States to be enslaved.
UT media historian and communications assistant professor Jennifer Fuller says the most memorable scene from the series is when Kunta Kinte is whipped repeatedly after being asked his name and refusing to give the one his overseer gave him.
This is his Africanness, right, that's trying to be torn from him, and it's a very violent scene as well, of course.
Fuller says the scene is recognized as a serious moment in television history. She doesn't know why it came up before an interview about the Formula One racetrack.
It could simply mean I'm going to refer to this other moment when someone was asked what their name was, right? It could mean something defiant, right? It's really hard to say what it means if someone says that.
People who have worked with Hellmund on the Formula One track have released the following statements from State Comptroller Susan Combs' office. Our dealings with him have been very professional. Sounds like an inappropriate attempt at a sense of humor. And Senator Kirk Watson, that kind of comment is offensive and inappropriate, and there is no excuse for it. Mike Maynor is a self-described community bridge builder who moderates race conversation sessions at St. James Episcopal Church in East Austin.
I don't know what the person's intent was in his heart or in his mind with doing that. He seemed to be somewhat of even uncomfortable as he said it, in my perspective.
Still, Maynor understands how the reference could be misconstrued.
Sometimes people are a product of misinformation and miseducation, no matter how much we like to think that some things or common sense.
Maynor says this is a reminder for all to be mindful of words they use and references they make, especially those appointed, elected, or serving the community, even in a business sense.
Anyone who's in a leadership role or in a visible role has somewhat of responsibility to be a student all the time.
The Building Bridges conversations take place the first Saturday of each month, and everyone is invited. The next one is this Saturday from 9 to 11:30 a.m. at St. James Episcopal Church, located at 1941 Weberville Road. According to his online Formula One bio, Hellman grew up and spent most of his life in Austin. He has more than 25 years of experience in racing, promoting, consulting, and professional sporting events with for-profit and non-profit partners. He's also actively involved in dropout and drunk driving prevention programs for teenagers. Robert, Leslie?
Thanks, Doug.
Thanks, Doug.